She made it 2 wins on the trot for glory. So in 35-degree heat on the west coast, Perth managed to get the win against a gallant Lady Reds outfit.
Yeah, look, it was a really tough game. We knew Adelaide would be really hard today, especially the conditions as well. But, you know, I was quite lucky that I was able to run onto it and put it in the back of the net.
The Victory haven't lost too many games at home over the years, but the Roar came out all guns blazing in Melbourne. And 15 minutes in, Vedrana Popovic showed that she can bend them like Beckham, striking this free kick beautifully to give Brisbane the lead. The home side had a chance to level the ledger when confusion at the back gave captain Louisa Bisbee a chance. Stephanie Catley looked dangerous on the ball, giving Jessica McDonald a shot, but she was denied by the woodwork. Catley had a go herself a few minutes later, but she went just over the top. And the afternoon continued to get worse for the home side, with their captain Louisa Bisbee helped from the field with an ACL injury 60 minutes in. And Ashley Brown also ruled out for the season. Amy Chapman gave Emily Gilnick every opportunity just before full time, but Melbourne ended up with it and were quick to counter-attack. Catley continued to look the goods, but she just couldn't find a way past Hashimi Kishi, and the score remained Brisbane Roar 1, Melbourne Victory 0, with last year's grand finalists getting their first win under new coach Belinda Wilson.
Yeah, it's obviously always tough against Melbourne. They're a very physical team, and you know we know what Mike's all about, and we know that they were going to come out here and stick it to us, which they did.
Brisbane are a class side. They've got a lot of good players. I thought we really pushed them today, and we're sort of unlucky not to at least get some points out of it. But yeah, we'll look forward to next week.
So after 2 rounds of W League action, Perth Glory remain on top, with 2 wins on the trot to start the season. But breathing down their necks are the powerful 3, Canberra United, Sydney FC and Brisbane Roar.
Well, the action continues in the W League. Plenty of aggression in the middle of the park. The coaches have their eye closely on the action between Melbourne Victory and the Newcastle Jets. And not much in it again between these two sides as we head towards the second half of action. Melbourne 1, Newcastle 0 in Geelong. In the other match, the Western Sydney Wanderers take a lead against the Perth Glory. A goal to 0 there. And coming up, Brisbane against Sydney FC and Canberra playing Adelaide. So the first half, well, there were chances at both ends. Simon was one of the forces to be ignited down that left side. Perhaps a shot would have been better. Tori Huster couldn't quite make the ground at the far post. Nonetheless, good signs for Newcastle. And against the back 3, they found some openings. Hatzirotis, though, not enough power in the left foot shot. On it went at the other end of the park. A fine cross and McDonald a header. What a save, though, from Eliza Campbell and Dad Bruce and Mum Kathy watching up on the border of New South Wales and Queensland would have been delighted with their daughter's effort there. McDonald getting a good header on it, but failing to find the mark or failing to get past. Now, this was a moment too with a brilliant tackle from Stacey Day, and then Campbell out again to deny Jessica McDonald. Amy Jackson with the cross, and just a little bit of a spill, but Barilla couldn't make the best of it, and that could have been a moment to regret. But here was a telling moment too. Well, there was a bit of a fall. She just clipped Jackson right on the stroke of half-time. The ball went in, and it was Rebecca Stott who just guided it in, ghosting it at the far post for her first W League goal. So a terrific finish to the half from the Melbourne Victory, and they lead by 1 goal to 0. Confirming the score, Rebecca Stott in injury time, even though there was none. 1-0 over the Newcastle Jets. Let's go down to Neve.
Thanks, Wilco. I've got coach of Melbourne Victory, Mike Mulvey, here with me. Mike, you must have been delighted with that goal right on the stroke of half-time.
Perfect time to score, yeah. It didn't really change what I had to say at half-time. I think that we've been fairly patient. We've got into some good areas out wide. The quality of our crossing and the play in the final third is not exactly what we want, but we're getting there. But as I said, it's a great time to score. I've just told the girls now we just start exactly the same way as we started the first half. Try and get Newcastle on the back foot, and if we can put some pressure in the back third, I think there's more goals on offer for us.
You're playing 3 in the back line today. How do you think that new formation is working?
Well, look, it's basically, it suits the players that we've got. You know, the 3 girls at the back are experienced, and they're also good defenders. But they can play, and I've encouraged them to play, and we're playing out from the back nicely. Once or twice we can move the ball a little bit quicker, but I think overall Newcastle have tried to cause us problems in corners, but we're coping with it. So that's their problem to solve, and we're quite happy with the way it's going.
Big bombshell in Australian football this week was Tom Sermanni's announcement that he'll be heading to the States in January. Now, I know you've only just been with Melbourne Victory for a couple of months, but the Matildas' job's a pretty appealing prospect, surely. Will you be throwing your hat in the ring?
Well, look, the first thing I'd like to say is, isn't it fantastic that an Australian coach becomes the coach of the biggest nation in the world in women's football? So Tommy's a friend of mine, and I wish him every success. It's a fantastic opportunity. If there's a possibility in the future and somebody thinks that I'm worthy of an opportunity with the Matildas, I'm very willing to listen. But right now my concentration is with Melbourne Victory and making sure that we can keep playing from the 46th minute to the 93rd minute.
Thanks for chatting to us today, Mike. Best of luck in the second half.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Well, the players returning to the action. Yeah, good thoughts there from Mike Mulvey, and hearty congratulations to Tom Sermanni on taking the coaching role of the United States women's football team. That appointment made in the early part of the week as we watch a US player, Jess McDonald, coming back on to see what she can conjure up in the second half. The Jets, that's musing. It will be interesting to see whether they've made any replacements. I think they might well have made one replacement, so that's a little bit of a sad note to end the first half on, but we will confirm that in a moment with Neve Owens down on the edge of the field, the various replacements. But I think they've made a bit of a shuffle. They've pulled Gemma Pearce out to the right back position. Start of play in the second half. The Jets on the attack, running from left to right in Geelong. And we back up those thoughts of Mike Mulvey with the appointment of Tom Sermanni. Bubs, you'd no doubt have some words for Tom Sermanni, the long-serving coach of the Matildas in 2 stints over 10 years, and to beat a field of 30 and a final field of 7 for the US women's coaching job. A terrific achievement.
Yeah, you can't be nothing but excited for the old man, really. Papa Smurf, we like to call him. He's like a father to many of us, and it's you know, people want me to be upset for him, for Australian football, but I just can't be. I'm really excited for him and for his future, and let's be honest, the time for a change is now. It's kind of been forced upon us, but that's the beauty of football. You never know what's coming around the corner.
Absolutely. Now, there might have been a replacement made with Gemma Pearce coming into the right back position for the Jets as the Jets go on to the attack. Alicia Foot tries the first time with the right foot and unfortunately couldn't quite get the meat of the bat. And got clipped in the process too, so a real chance to level it up.
Yeah, it's a great ball in there behind, and she's just hurt her leg there. She might have just got a late challenge from Stoddy, but nothing in that. So Gemma Simons come back into the left back position, Gemma Pearce into the right.
And there was one change coming out of halftime, Wilco. We've got Samara Schmitzer off. She's on the bench. Tiffany Boschers, the other US import, has come onto the field.
Now a little trying the run around. She kept that in play somehow, and Huster with the strike on goal. Well, the idea was right. She was trying to curl it in at the far post, but she had some support out wide.
Very intelligent play by Hustler there. She's used a bit of street smarts, just getting Stoddy off balance to keep the ball into the play and then looking for someone to make a run back post, but not to be.
Now another ball for Catley, and Catley with pace, getting out in front of Pearce. Oh, a loop ball to the far post, and it's almost come in off the hip of Barilla. Oh, what an opportunity at the far post.
Gemma Simon has done just enough to put Enza Barilla off here, but a great ball in by Catley, and just enough to get her off guard there. Enza Barilla not keeping an eye on the ball there.
McDonald doing well. And a free kick given away. Appeals for a 50-50 ball coming from Tiffany Bolshears, I think is the correct pronunciation. Are we going to go Bosches or Bolshears? What do you think, Neve?
It's actually Bolshears, you're right, Wilco.
Oh, come on, can't we do a bit Aussie in that? Let's go Bosch.
We could mix
Bosch.
it up.
I'll call her Bosch.
A 29-year-old born in Sun Valley, we'll call her Tiff. Now, that's a shot that's not too much of a problem for Eliza Campbell. He's come up with one or two brilliant moments, just a little bit of a fumble which almost let Barilla in, but overall you'd give her a 9.5 out of 10 for a first half effort. She certainly couldn't do anything with that final goal. It was just the raiding party, the wave of Victory attackers coming in with the teasing ball. It's always a tough one to defend against too, isn't it? The angled ball.
As a goalkeeper, anyone who's watching probably should have said that she should have come for it, but a goalkeeper in that position, you just never know. Great ball in.
Now, Sposhi is trying to get the weight of the cross on the ball. Playing with the Chicago breeze. Cindy Lay. League pass. Approval from the coach. And Steph Catley freewheeling. Oh, what a ball. Now big chance for Jackson, but she sprays it. Oh, despairingly so too. That was a great opportunity again for the Victory, really getting in behind the Jets.
Yeah, Catley taking on defenders and then slotting through that killer pass. Stacey Day puts it out in front of Jacko, but Amy Jackson skies it over the bar.
And the Jets are really pushing up quite high, so Melbourne Victory could have plenty of opportunities to counter-attack.
You get the sense that it's going to be that sort of second half. There's a lot of chess in the first half, but now it's really opening up. Hatzarota's trying to stay onside. It goes wide to foot and intercepting Rebecca Stott. She can do no wrong today.
Melbourne Victory very lucky there. Newcastle Jets actually outnumbered the Melbourne Victory defence 4-3. So very lucky to get away with it, and Stoddy just doing an amazing job in the back line today. And on the score sheet, she's amazing.
Now, Tori Star. Through the far post days. McDonald's back to defend. Good header out. Not much up there for the Victory, so Newcastle are going to come back again. Simon just thumps in a useful first-time ball. Huster can pull it down. But what about the defensive work from Rebecca Stott yet again? Well, the brothers, they'll just be delirious. Daniel, Josh, Tim and Isaac. Hope you're all watching. Your sister's having a blinder. I don't think any of her brothers play football anymore. So they'll be enjoying the display of Rebecca Stott today. And now the Victory can't quite find the way through to Catley once again. Well, they might have another chance. And here's McDonald one-on-one. And what a bit of keeping that was. A super brave attempt from Eliza Campbell coming out to protect the goal. She read it well, and it was really a huge chance for Jess McDonald.
Great goalkeeping there, just stayed nice and big, made the goal very small.
Another chance again, Catley. Oh, the ball bounces down off the arm of Campbell. And it's headed away and it comes off again. Unbelievable, 3 chances in the space of 40 seconds for the victory, and each time Eliza Campbell, well, she better get on the stage and start pulling rabbits out of hats after that exhibition. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, she's doing an amazing job. Half of the challenge of being a goalkeeper is being dominant in your 18-yard box and really coming at things, and you know, what you say is it's about going forward, and she's just done that there 3 times. Push the ball out in front of her. If you're going backwards, the ball goes in the back of the net, but you see just then 3 times critical technical ability there. Amazing.
84 times capped, Matilda's goalkeeper, Melissa Barbieri, with us in commentary on Newcastle trying to feed their way through the centre. An enterprising move as well. Will you be surprised if a goal doesn't come in the next 2 or 3 minutes? Foot. And well, gets the ball back. I'm not sure she wanted it back. And it takes a slight deflection, allowing Brie Davey to come out and get her fingers on the ball.
This is much better from both teams, especially from the Newcastle Jets, really putting the pressure on, but also Melbourne Victory attacking as well. This is much better football and a much better indicator of where our game is these days.
Liliadis, it was an opportunistic pass, but it does realise the right result in that they're going to get the ball back again. It came off Boshiers. So a little bit of musing from Sully. Wayne O'Sullivan, who's certainly been adding to his coaching repertoire as well, accruing lots of certificates and degrees, and he's well positioned back in charge of the Jets again this year after a change in the guard last year under different management. At Northern New South Wales back in control of the Jets again, as we watch now the Jets pour down the left side, trailing by the goal. Tucked forward by Salem, Boshiers, and so the triple treat, the American connection. Huster with a long-range strike. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad at all. She looked up, sized up the target.
Yeah, you can't give Tori Huster time like that on the ball, especially in the middle of the park. A strike like that can easily go in the top corner, and you can't do anything about it as a goalkeeper.
Oh, Davey, it's an interesting pass. It does bring dividends as well. Johnson. Loida Hurley will allow Davey to do the work of thundering it down the park. Oh, a little bit of a grab and an appeal from the experienced Hayley Crawford. The former Matilda says, who, me? And she's doing a little bit of assistant coaching at the Jets as well. It'll be a career down the track for Hayley Crawford to join the ranks of female coaches, to bolster the ranks, I should say. And the artist pushes it right off the outside of the boot, nipping in behind as Lay. Can she get the cross in? She might have won the corner. Well, sort of a half-hearted point to the corner flag. It is going to be a corner, though.
Yeah, Cindy Lay just getting in behind the defence. Great tackle by Hannah Brewer. That's what you want from your midfielders, tracking back and covering and helping out your defence.
Now, it's Catley with the dangerous curling corner. Jackson far post. McDonald, the header down and across. Still there for the victory. Is there going to be a chance? Laid back neatly by Koja. Back it comes from Eliadis. And it's too much weight on the ball on that occasion, and Catley can't retrieve. Nonetheless, some spirit of attack at both ends of the park at the moment. 56 minutes gone. Melbourne 1. Newcastle yet to score. And, they'll be looking to put on a solid back end of the game as well. As we saw in the opening, or mentioned in the opening, they'd conceded 5 goals in the last quarter of an hour last week against Canberra, and 2 goals in the previous match in their draw with Sydney. Ball to Gemma Pearce. She's going to get another go. Pearce with a cross. Not quite precise enough too. She had many, many options. It's gone out behind before it comes back in.
Gemma Pearce overlapping from a right back position. When you play with a back four, that's what you want your back forward to be doing. You want to be able to go to a back three at any time and have your right and left backs overlap and start forward attacks.
And we mentioned some of the departures for Melbourne this year, because we can't forget Katrina Gorry, who's gone to the Brisbane Roar, but she was such a dynamite force on the park for the victory. They've got some youngsters there filling the breach admirably today. Tiffany Eliadis, Amy Jackson, she's so cool. Plenty of experience, and Catley looking to release McDonald. Now McDonald has a time to look up. Oh, the flag has stayed down. Eliadis sprays it over. Well, that's one moment when the flag might have gone up, really.
Yeah, that's indicative of Eliadis's age. She's only 17. She's probably seen the goal there and thought, oh, blood had rushed to the head and skied it over the bar. And Mike Mulvey has been working on that in training, about keeping their heads down so they can get shots on target.
Well, Tiffany Eliadis, who she once scored in a 13-year-old competition to win the competition in extra time, and she was delirious for one day until they took the goal away the next day. She was an ineligible player, so she went from the penthouse to the basement. Ball across and out. Mulvey. So it's Camilleri with 2 goals for the Western Sydney Wanderers, and they lead 2-0 over Perth. So it's looking to be a positive result for the new team from the west of Sydney. Stop. Fine header. And Huster. Such control. Magical work. Can't find the pass to match the skill. Koja very cool, waiting for Danielle Johnson just to find some space for her. And that sort of bounces over the head of the diminutive Eliadis, but she is going to get the throw back again, put out by Gemma Simon. She was spotted at a young age. Tom Simani was one who spotted the skills of Tiffany Eliadis too, and she's looking a lot the part in the middle of the park today. So too the player on the ball, Amy Jackson. Very controlled in the middle of the field, good vision. Oh, is that a handball? And the referee so close. Hannah Brewer not picked up. But the Victory enjoying a very positive spell. Are they going to advance on their goal-to-nothing lead? Barilla.
Enza Barilla's actually dropped back into the midfield, and Tiffany Eliadis has pushed on up front to play out wide right.
Now we watch Hatsarodos come back to try and start something up and get the ball going forward. Catley surging back to intercept and prevent Alicia Foot from getting a bit of a go on. Alicia Foot played with the LA Strikers with Caitlin Munoz and Amy Chapman. Good experience for her. And she's come to Newcastle to get a bit more prime game time. But look at the way she's been operating down that right. The Jets are going to be using her for the whole season there.
Alicia Foot actually played for the Melbourne Victory in the first season, and she had to go out of the game because she needed a break from it. So I'm glad to see that she's back in the W League. We need players like her to be staying in the game as long as possible. Not making up numbers as such, but you know, making sure that we've got the best players out in the field.
Absolutely. Well, she's only 21 years of age, so she's got a few years ahead of her. She does still have that dream that many start out with of representing. Ball downfield. Oh, Brie Davey had to come a long way. She's off the line. Is Salem going to try one from long range? Back to Huss. Salem blazes over off the Huster pass. So they tried to conjure up something, the US connection. They did pretty well, but in the end it was Davey who had to come out a long way prior to that to save the day.
Yeah, a bit of lacking in concentration on the pass back to the keeper there.
Now a change. Neve Owens, this anticipated change is coming on. And across now to Neve, we can see Tara Andrews replacing Michaela Hatsarodos. And Hatsarodos certainly getting into good positions up front. Maybe it's just that little bit more pace that might sort the victory out. Catley, fine header. Cindy Lay didn't know where it was. They're going to get it back, the victory. So they hang on to this lead. We've had 17.5 minutes of play in the second half. There's the goal scorer, Rebecca Stott. She'd love the day to finish like this, just to have her name on the score sheet. And she tries to find the ball through. Catley had made the run, good vision. And now she has to retreat. Brewer moving quickly. And the pass was behind rather than in front. Tara Andrews gets it back again. This next touch is better. It's a foot. And it gives herself up a bit, Huster. She was offside and just retreated and said, no.
Don't get caught in the same line.
Oh, stopped. Just catching Jackson for a moment. She recovers. Barilla under pressure from Bouchers, or Bouchiers. Get it right shortly. Good return pass. Barilla motoring forward. Danger. But she can't find the pass. And Eliadis just a fraction out of position, but nonetheless, another good raid down the right side for the Melbourne victory.
All those kids watching at home, that's why you should use the inside of your left foot to play that pass, because she used the outside of her right foot there and didn't get enough on it and just skewed the pass. And you can't do that in your final third.
Reuter Hurley on the ball. Doing a PhD in chemistry at Bendigo University. Thanks very much. So watch Salem. Now, Stacey Day to Pearce. Newcastle finding a great deal on at the moment. Huster. Melbourne really marking well, retreating. Barilla has certainly added just a little bit more pace to that middle of the park, and they're covering a lot of ground at the moment. And Newcastle aren't finding the same way through as they did in the first half. Stacey Day. And Huster, well, now there's a chance. 2 on, foot and Huster. Huster controls the shot. Is it going to come? Can she cross it? She does the full pirouette. Oh, the socks roll down. She's all aggression. Back to foot. Well, she wanted the run from Pearce and now offside yet again.
That's smart work by Melbourne Victory. Just while the ball was getting played backwards there, they really stepped it up and caught Huster offside as she's looking to get to the ball.
So Neves back with us after a slight technical problem, but we have telegraphed the introduction of Tara Andrews, but Melbourne certainly enjoying the better of play at the moment.
Well, it's the interchange we've been waiting for. Tara Andrews out on the park, but they're struggling to make a way through at the moment, the Jets.
Absolutely. Johnson, Barilla. Drags Brewer out. Bit of a hole, and they go in behind. Koja, a half trip, recovers a balance. And a thick forest of Newcastle defenders preventing any further incursion for the moment. Back to Gemma Simon. Andrews. And that's a ball onside. She can't keep it in though, Huster. So good play.
That's better because they're moving off the ball. They're a bit stagnant at the moment, Newcastle Jets. You want to see them really running off the ball and creating options. And if you're not being imaginative, it's very easy for the Melbourne Victory just to climb all over you and win balls in the back line.
We've seen 5 shots on target so far from Melbourne and just 2 from Newcastle. And it's 10-7 the count in favour of the Melbourne victory. And the possession stakes just evening out a little bit, although it's still strongly in favour of the victory. But will it change over the next minute or so? Bree Davey marshalling the troops. Ball in. Stacey Day gets the header. No power. Andrews could save Davey. She stood her ground. She stood tall and she grabbed it. She made a save look a little bit easier than it was, I think.
Yeah, that definitely could have the ability to go over her head then. She stood her ground well.
Now at the other end of the park, it's Jess McDonald chasing, and it's Gemma Simon who has to tidy up. Not the full clearance, a little bit of back work coming from Tiffany Bouchiers. Davey just exercising the vocal cords too.